Hey guys, welcome to 3 and Out. You can check out the podcast below in the description. And here's what I need you to do. Make sure you subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel to stay up to date to everything we're doing here on 3 and Out and the Volume. I guess let's really quick start with the officials. I'm done complaining after this week because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? It's because the officials in the NFL have been terrible for a long time. Now, we can disagree with the taunting calls. It was clearly stupid. But just the constant fucking flags are driving me nuts. But the NFL is not, it's not driving them nuts. Because if they wanted them to stop, they would. If they wanted there to be less flags, there would. Period, point blank, end of story. And there just isn't. They do not care. Like a couple weeks ago, when the Netflix employees wanted Chappelle canceled, Reed Hastings and Netflix pretended like they gave a shit. They did not. You know why? Chappelle makes them a lot of money. He gets people on their couches to click on Netflix. They're in the business of getting your eyeballs. You know what the NFL is in the business of doing? Getting people to watch their games. You know what's up right now? Ratings. So you and I and everyone listening to this can complain about the officials till we are blue in the face. It simply does not matter. They simply at the league office do not give a shit. They do not care about the constant, just never-ending barrage of flags. I do not watch these games for the referees. It felt like the referee tonight when Cassius Marsh got the taunting penalty, he hip-checked him. It's like, I wouldn't have blamed Cassius Marsh if he would have shoved his ass to the ground. But, you know, the NFL does not care. They are not bothered by it because as long as ratings are up, everyone's printing money. I say it all the time. The league office did not care tonight who wins, who loses. They all win. It's like, what do they say about Phil Knight? It's like, you know, he doesn't lose that often. As long as both sides are wearing the Nike logo, he's winning. You know, that's with the NFL. As long as you're sitting on your couch watching Monday Night Football, and I'm sure 15 million people watch this, just like 20 million people watch Sunday Night Football, and just like 12 million more will watch Thursday Night Football, who cares if there's 7 million penalties? And we all scream and hoot and holler on Twitter. They don't. Roger does not. The people around him do not. The coaches do. The GMs do. The players do. The league office does not. So we can get up in arms all we want about it. It is not going to change. It just simply is not. So it's just, I don't have any more energy to keep screaming at these guys because I can't stand to see one more yellow flag on the field. It's just exhausting. Every ticky-tack PI call, just the ticky-tack calls are just, but they're not going to stop. So why even get mad over it? And then I was thinking about this watching the Steelers tonight. I have nothing but admiration for people that have a vision for what they want, and they'll do anything to get it. And especially those that at a young age that go, I want to do this in life. I knew some people, hell, even in college, that were like, I want to be rich. I want to have a lot of money. And now in their mid to late 30s, they're successful. They were on a one-track mind. I want to run my own company. And they did it. I tipped my hat. I remember when I got to work for the Eagles and I got to know Howie Roseman. The dude wanted to be a GM since he was like 7. And he became a GM at 35 years old. Because on the pursuit for what he's going for, whoever that individual is, there's just a direct vision for what you're looking for and what you want to accomplish. And I think the best run organizations in sports have the same mindset. They know exactly the type players they want. They do not, get off course. They do not deviate from the plan. Belichick did it for years. He had a specific type player he looked for. And occasionally when he got the star player, they had to be in a specific situation. They had to be hungry and they had to be kind of kicked to the curb. They had to have something to prove. He didn't often get a guy in the peak of their powers, 4 or 5 Pro Bowls in. He got Randy Moss when he was at a low point with the Raiders. He got Corey Dillon at a low point. He's done this. He got Revis, right, with Tampa when it wasn't going well after Schiano showed up. And then clearly the Edelman, the Welker types over the years, the Logan Mankins, we can all list the names. I think the Steelers are the same thing. They have a specific type player they look for. And that is the reason they consistently win. Honestly, it feels like Mike Tomlin was put on this earth to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you close your eyes, and he's been the coach there forever, when I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, I just think Mike Tomlin. But then think about their players. Najee Harris, dude just fits perfectly on this, was homeless 6 years ago down the street from me. Then he goes to Bama, now he's a Steeler. Perfect. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I thought they were insane for trading a first-round pick for him. I shouldn't have. He's a perfect type Steeler. TJ Watt. TJ freaking Watt. It just couldn't make any more sense. You're watching him in the black and gold. You're like, God, this guy was born to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the reason that they are so consistent, that they always have so much talent, is their vision and their understanding of exactly what they want. No, should we do this? Or, should we do that? Let's make an exception for this. No. It's constantly getting the exact type player. And it's the reason that they have so much talent. Because let's face it, Roethlisberger kind of looks like a shot fighter. Are they going to be able to win playoff games with this version of Ben? I think it's going to be very, very difficult. But they do have a ton of talent all around them. And they have really his whole career. It's why when he was in the peak of his powers, they were winning 12, 14 games a year and competing to, late in the playoffs all the time. Sometimes they would lose, but they were always there. They were always in the mix. And I went to Kevin Colbert's Wikipedia page, the general manager. Well, how does he have such an understanding? He's fucking worked for the organization since 1999, 2000. He's been there 21 years. He's been the GM now 11. The ethos of the Steelers is him. Him and Tomlin combined. What's Tomlin been there? 15 years? He's been there 20. It's like 35 years worth of experience, the two of them, in the culture, in the building, looking for the players, being around. I remember when I was at Fresno State and I got to meet Mean Joe Green. But over the years, just all the different iterations of their different eras. They all have the same type guys. In my backyard, the 49ers, hell, the Raiders, they just always have these different type guys. It's like, let's take this guy. Let's try this guy. Let's do that. I like the people that have a direct vision of what they want. Now, and once you figure out what works and what doesn't, it becomes pretty unstoppable when you're a high-level person, when you're a high-level organization. And that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers are. It's why they've been able to overcome the last couple years of bad quarterback play and now old quarterback play because they have so much talent. They draft so well. They have so many impact guys. And it's an organizational philosophy that whatever their secret sauce is, if I worked in the NFL, I would try to steal it because they fucking have it. And then the last but not least, I said this last week and I'll say it again, Justin Fields' talent is just immense. It really is. His arm talent, his size, his ability to push the ball down the field, the whole thing. Now, the one knock I noticed that he's not the most instinctive runner for a guy that runs. I often compare him to like Kyler and Lamar. Those guys are way more instinctive as runners. But I do think that Fields is a pretty natural passer. He's a more natural passer as a rookie than Lamar was. Now, clearly Lamar now is, again, I think he's going to win a second MVP probably. And Kyler was an excellent passer immediately. Fields is a good passer. Tonight he was 17 to 29, but he hit multiple deep balls. I just like what I see. I think that guy has a chance to be really, really good. Now, do I trust Ryan Pace to put the talent around him? I do not. Do I trust them to build the team around him, that organization? I do not. Even though they do have, Herbert's not bad, Montgomery's not bad, Kmet's not bad. Allen Robinson will be gone after this season. But if you're a Bears fan, it's a tough season. You're 3-6. You're not going to make the playoffs. But at least you can watch your team and go, we have something at quarterback. We have a guy that just physically has a chance to be pretty special. Now, a lot goes into that, right? The older you get, the more defensive looks you get, the more defensive coordinators try to expose your weakness. The moment you don't handle a certain zone coverage well, a certain blitz well, they'll do it relentlessly. And you constantly have to improve. You constantly have to adapt. Accuracy is a huge part of it, right? You have to maintain that. It has to improve. But I really like what I see. Now, I'm biased. I liked him a ton coming out just because I think he just kind of pops when you watch him on TV. A long way to go. But what do you think the Steelers would do for that right now? You think they would flip-flop him and Roethlisberger and take that guy? Because I'll promise you this. They would kick Roethlisberger to the curb so fast your head would spin for Justin Fields. Not that that's that crazy. I mean, Fields was just taken 11th in the draft, but I'm really bullish what I've seen out of Fields these last 2 weeks. He has been dramatically better than he was the first, 5 or 6 games. The Niner game and then the Steeler game. Tonight, Monday Night Football, bright lights on, playing the Steelers defense, getting his ass chased behind the line of scrimmage by T.J. Watt and those defensive linemen, slammed out of the the one thing, he lowered his shoulder on Minkah Fitzpatrick. We're not playing Iowa or Indiana here. Got to get out of bounds. When you get in collisions on Sundays and on Monday nights, you break clavicles, you get concussions. He'll learn, but I am very bullish on what I see from Justin Fields. Thanks for watching 3 and Out. You can check out the podcast below in the description, and make sure you subscribe right now to the Volumes YouTube channel.